Welcome back to the Myth Series in Depth. In this mission, we will get to see the legendary Tain artifact be put to use. About 6 months have passed since the last journal entry.
The forces of Lankerfen turned the tide of battle at the gates of Mirgard. Without their aid, the Ghoul Horde would have undoubtedly broken through Mirgard's stout gates and defiled the dwarves' ancient homeland. The Dwarven Efor, Halfgrim, met with Connacht in the Great Smithy. It took no time to establish an alliance between the two nations, but convincing the dwarves to relinquish their most holy of relics was more difficult. Yet in less than a week, Connacht's army began their return to Lankerfen with 100 dwarven demolitionists in tow. Returning to Lankerfen, Connacht strode directly to the main forum to meet with the smiths of Myrthemne. Traval stared in disbelief as Connacht handed him the Ankaric Tomen. True to his word, Traval and the smiths began construction of a Tain. The complexities of such a potent magical device were almost too difficult to master, even for the smiths of Myrthemne. There were many failures, some more destructive than others. After months of sleepless work, the smiths met with Connacht outside their smithy. There they delivered to him the most inescapable of prisons, one that could snatch away a foe and hold him indefinitely within its confines. A Tain. Now, armed with the legendary device, Connacht left to gather his troops and lead them north into the dire marsh. Forging an alliance between the Dwarven Kingdom and the Cathbruig, it took little to convince the Emperor to let Connacht keep command of his forces from Mirgard. The Dwarven demolitionists, upon their arrival at Lankerfen, went about making barrels of their explosive powders. Disaster was narrowly avoided one night when a messenger entered the Dwarven camp carrying a lit torch. Soon after, the potency of the Dwarven satchel charges were demonstrated before the Lankerfen troops. They were indeed stunned by the devastating potential of the Dwarven concoctions, and somewhat fearful upon seeing the demolitionists' wide grins and gleaming eyes at every explosion. Upon completion of the Tain, Connacht gathered his forces and made haste north into the dire marsh. His troops thought him mad to engage the Mercridia on their own lands, but followed their general into the dark swamps. Within hours, a pack of Mercridia appeared out of the mist and charged the army. Connacht leaped to the front of his forces, holding only a small jeweled box in his outstretched hand. With the salivating Mercridia only yards away from the army, a bright flash lit the haze and enveloped the devils. And then, the light was gone, taking the Mercridia with it. The army stood staring, dumbfounded. Connacht held aloft the device and spoke to his troops. "This is a Tain, and with it, we will wipe the Mercridia from the face of the world." With the power of the Tain, Connacht's forces became unstoppable. Legions of the devil beasts were imprisoned within the Tain's hungry maw. Those few Mercridia that escaped being trapped within the magical oubliette were hunted down and slain. As the army approached the northern extents of the marsh, they spied a black spire jutting from the marshy landscape. Fortress walls surrounded its base, and mobs of devils and undead lurked about its embattlements. Connacht, shaking himself from a daze of memories, pointed toward the spire and said to his men, "The object of our mission lies within."
After saving the dwarven city of Mirgard from the ghouls, Connacht goes to the Efor, Halfgrim, and forged an alliance with the dwarves. The forces of Lankerfen will now have the dwarven demolitionists to aid them. The dwarves' infatuation with explosives is both impressive and concerning. Connacht was able to retrieve the most holy of relics from the Efor, the Ankaric Tomen. Remember, in the last mission, Connacht had asked the forge master of the smiths in Myrthemne, Traval, to build an ancient device. Traval had told him at that time that he needed the Unkarok Tomen in order to build that device. This device is, of course, the Tane. The journal makes it sound like it took Connacht close to a week to convince the E4 to part with the Unkarok Tomen. Perhaps with Connacht's understanding of the world of myth thanks to Mazarin, he was able to explain things to the E4, helping him understand the urgency of the situation. Traval was stunned by Connacht having acquired the Unkarok Tomen and built the Tane for Connacht after months of sleepless work. As all of us myth fans know, Connacht will now be able to capture the Macridia within. As we would expect, Connacht immediately leads the confused forces of Lancrefin into the dire marsh and reveals the true power of the Tane as he captures the Macridia within. Everyone watching the videos up to this point or has played Myth understands the power of the Tane, so I won't bore you by repeating that explanation. The journal ends with the forces spotting a black spire within the marsh. Connacht clearly remembers the spire from something he learned from Mazarin. Yet again, Mazarin's powers have aided Connacht, and this will be far from the last time at that. Connacht had clearly entered the dire marsh not only to capture the Macridia and the Tane, but also to find this spire. As we will quickly learn, Connacht is searching for the legendary pack mage Thalor the Black. Now let's jump into the mission. Battle your way to the Black Tower in the swamps. Here we go, we got Connacht showing off the Tane, capturing a few Macridia. Here's all our forces. We actually get a good amount of forces in this mission. The main problem is that, you know, just that these warriors are pretty much worthless against the Macridia, so that's the one thing that sucks. So we'll kind of bring all our forces here in the corner right away, and I'll show you why. Where you start, there's actually some Macridia that come at you right away, but kind of on this map, if you look at this map, there's a bunch of like lakes. We start over here, which is like flat, this kind of grassy area, but it's all kind of flat land with trees. And then in the middle somewhere, there's a bunch of lakes. And then to the right of that, you get past the lakes, and then you see the wall to the spire. Now, if you go to Thalor the Black, let me see real quick. So if you go and meet Thalor the Black, all the Macridia that is to the west of that wall will disappear. You gotta get there with Connacht. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it has to be Connacht, but one of your units has to get there. And with how awesome Connacht is with capturing units within this Tane, we're just gonna send Connacht on his own, and he's gonna be fine. Now, hold on, we gotta get out of the way, run away from these Macridia. They didn't see me. If you do run into like a pack of Macridia like that one right there, they will kind of all go towards your units in the corner. So you gotta be careful of that. These Solus won't disappear, so we're just gonna capture these Solus within the Tane. I don't know why, I was hitting the wrong button, I think. We also killed a couple whites, it looks like. So we can just run along here. Here's some Macridia, they just kind of patrol, their patrol ends right there. Now, on the east side of these lakes, there are a couple Macridia giants, but they're not really much of an issue. If they see us, we'll be fine. We can just keep running. So they might have saw me, and they might be going to my forces over here, but that's alright, we'll be fine. So there's some Solus up here that we want to deal with. We're just gonna deal with them, and then we come right around here, right past this like wood post, and then we'll start our cutscene where we will meet Thalor the Black. So here we go. As you can see, it says Thalor. And he kind of grunts. So there are a bunch of like soulless that will come at our forces. We should just bring Connacht back here. Let's just bring him like right here. So Connacht can one-shot these soulless, but they're all gonna charge my there's probably like 15 of them that are gonna charge to this corner and attack my so that's why I had my bowmen kind of on the slope right here. But most of them are gonna mindlessly run past Connacht, so Connacht can actually take them out. So there might, I don't know if there's any more soulless. Well, we'll fast forward and see. Any more soulless? No. Okay. So now we're good to go. So all these Macridia to the west of that wall are gone. Those soulless don't disappear, so that's why I killed these soulless down here with the Tane, because it's easier to kill them with the Tane. Now, I'm going to come up here.
Yes, sir.
Bring all my forces up here. There is a white, like, right here-ish in this lake. You can see there's some soulless. We can see him.
We're moving. Yes, sir.
So you'll see
Got
these
it.
whites come out at
Got
some
it.
point.
Got it. We're moving. Yes. We're moving.
Okay, now we can come all the way up to this entrance up here. We're gonna come back a little bit of a ways, because those, if you remember, there was those 4 soulless or so right here that were shooting at Connacht. So they still stay there. They're still there. So we're gonna bring up our archers and we're gonna take them out. Actually, we should just kind of spread them out.
Out of the way! All right, step aside! Out of the way!
Trying to get them to. This
Out
like
of the
little
way!
fence is a terrible spot for them.
Stand clear!
Kind of all want to shoot that red
Out
one.
of the way! Step aside! Stand clear!
Okay, there we go. We got him.
Yes.
We'll bring all our guys up here. There's some whites in this water up here. They kind of come out of up here. And then there's some whites in this water over here.
Got it. All
Okay, and then there's some soulless up here we want to take care of, and then we'll be ready to fight the last group, which is the only real challenging part of this mission. We actually could probably just bring our archers up here. I actually, when I was practicing this, I actually did this a little different, where, okay, let's just stop here for a second. So these two groups, each of them I think have 12 Macridia and 1 Macridia Giant. What I did before is put my units over here and kind of like try to draw them out, but it's so far. So I'm gonna try putting them here instead. So I have a good like kind of distance, but it's not as far as running all the way back over here. So we're just gonna bring our bowmen up here, and then we're gonna try to attack the soulless from this high ground.
Step off!
No, don't shoot them. I'm gonna go get the soulless.
Got it.
Oh, you can kind of go through right here. Interesting. Okay, so we have 4 satchels per dwarves, and we have 4 dwarves. So we're gonna use up. You probably need it like right here. Let's see if we can put them. They'll let you get pretty close without attacking. So there we go.
Yes, sir.
Right away.
Come on, stop.
Ready.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna lead them right down here. So
Right away. Right away.
what we're gonna do is let's bring these archers back just a little bit. Maybe they can shoot over our front line. Let me select them. Come on. So we can shoot some fire arrows at these Macridia.
Yes, sir. Got it. All right. Right away.
The first fire arrows obviously work the best because the ground gets scarred. And then after the ground gets scarred, you know,
Moving.
then it doesn't burn as well.
Got it. Moving. I'm on it. Got it.
But the idea is to hurt them enough so that they start charging.
Let's get him.
That's exactly what I wanted. So we got one down. So we're gonna do basically the same thing for the other one. We're gonna reposition just a little bit because if
Yes.
we don't want them to any of them to want to come around here. Okay, right here. They might come. That should be good enough. Okay, let's just go shoot some fire arrows at them.
Yes, sir.
Send these archers a little back.
All right.
You two.
Yes. Moving. Right away. Got it. All right.
Let's try it again.
All right.
They might not come because there might be too much
Okay.
scarred ground where I can't get enough damage.
Right away. Got it. All right. Moving. Right away.
They might be committing. Yeah, they're committing. That's the mission right there. So as you can see, here's the Black Spire they talked about, and here's kind of the entrance into the Black Spire. That's the whole mission.
The walls of the ancient spire were breached. Connacht and his forces swept into the fortress, slaying the last of its defenders. The pack mage, however, was nowhere to be found.
So the dwarves got 24 kills. But the dwarf... What is this dwarf? I don't remember seeing that. That is really weird. Casualty 0 of 1. I don't even know what to think of that. The dwarf. Anyways. So, as you'd expect, our dwarves are starting to get a lot of kills. Only 2 missions and they're already kicking butt. and we killed. The only Mercuria that it counts that we killed are the ones at the exit. All the ones that disappeared when we captured within the tank do not count on the kills. So the windscreen shows some of the Lankrfin warriors entering the spider from the broken hole that we ended the mission at. Apparently, some Mercuria were crushed when the wall was blown out. The windscreen tells us that Connacht and his forces swept into the fortress, slaying its defenders. The pack mage was nowhere to be found. The law screen shows a warrior that was killed by the poisonous soulless javelins. We can see the dense trees within the dire marsh. The law screen tells us that Connacht was overwhelmed by the ferocity of the cornered Mercuria. They took revenge against the Lankrfin forces and delivered Connacht and the Tain into the dire marsh. In this mission, you can actually capture your own units within the Tain. You can do this by capturing one of the enemy units while they are in close proximity to your own. The funny thing about this is that these units captured within the Tain do not count as casualties. It is strange to have the Tain be an object of such importance in the Myth series, and yet we only see it for a portion of a single mission. I think the real answer, lore-wise, as the journal explains, is that Connacht had actually captured a majority of the Mercuria within the Tain prior to this mission. The point of this mission was really to run into the Packmage Thalor we will face in the next mission. You will have to wait until the next mission to learn more about the legendary Thalor the Black. See you then.